Good morning, grade twos. Today is Thursday and it's our last math lesson this week. And we're gonna have some fun with shapes. Now you're gonna need a few things for today. So I want you, in your package, you would have 3 of these pieces of paper with shapes on them. Okay, so you're gonna need all 3 of these pages. You're going to need your textbook and you're going to need scissors. So as we go through our lesson today, you're going to need to be able to hit pause because I'm going to have you cut things out and then we're going to build with them, okay? But you're going to have to press pause to give you enough time to cut the shapes out. So those 3 pages, scissors, and your textbook, okay? So let's get our textbook first off, opened up to page 93. Now you're going to notice today is a lot of similar things that we've been doing in the classroom with tangrams. And that's where we can take shapes, move them around, play with them, and build new shapes. And that is what we're going to get to do today. So on your first page, don't worry about the bottom ones right now. We will need those later when you do your workbook. But for now, I want you to cut out this big square. And then I want you to cut out the second square, but you're going to cut a line down the middle, so it's going to make our 2 triangles, okay? So I've got mine are green, so I cut out the big square, and then the other square, which we know when we cut this square across the 2 corners, it makes 2 triangles. So press pause until you've got these 3 things cut out from that first page, okay? Now, on page 93, it shows us some shapes that they are making using our square and our 2 triangles, or our half squares. So I want you to make the shape. Let's do the first one on this page. I want you to make this first shape up here, okay? So I can show you here behind me on the board. We've got our square, and then we've got one of our half squares here, okay? And then we've got our other half square up here. So that should be what your first shape looks like. Now I'm not sure with the camera if it's flipped when you view this, if it's looking out the other way, but keep going with the textbook. And you can do it, if you'd like, right beside so that it's looking similar, okay? Now we're gonna go down. Melissa is going to make a different shape with the same 3 shapes, the 2 half squares and the square. So let's make the one that Melissa has on the bottom of this page. So the square's here, and one of the triangles is on top, and another one is down the side. So now we have Melissa's shape that she made. Lastly, I would like you to make a different shape with your triangles and your square. Can you make one all by yourself? You pick one. I'm going to make mine. There's the shape that I made. Yours might look different. I did one on top and one on the bottom and the square in the middle, okay? And you can play around and make more with those, okay? Now, just moving things to the side because you may still need them for your workbook, you're going to get to the next page. And what I want you to do is I want you to cut out the 4 triangles on the top. And you see this black line? Just cut out what's on top, the 4 triangles on the top, please, okay? So cut those 4 triangles out. Okay, mine are going to be orange. My 4 triangles. So press pause if you need more time. Okay. And we are going to turn our textbook to page 94. So just turn the page over where we've got our pink. There are 4 triangles on top there that are pink. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to fit the 4 triangles together, okay, to make a rectangle, and you'll see down below on your page, here's the rectangle. So I want you to piece together your triangles, okay? Fit them together to make the rectangle, okay? And you can do it right on your page. Okay, I'm going to try and lift mine up without losing them all. Let me just see here if I can do that. Okay, so right up on your page here, you can do it. And let me just put this up here. Okay, so let me put each one on here. Oops. You can do it right on top of this gray box, okay? Fit them together. Okay. Because if you notice, when I put two triangles together, they make rectangles, okay? So you're going to fit them together, okay? So you're going to use them to that. Now, we're going to keep going, and we're going to make them fit the other shapes. And the other shapes are on our page down below. So you're going to keep using your 4 triangles and making the other shapes. Okay, so I'm going to take my 4 triangles, and you can keep going to make the other shapes. Okay, oops. So we are going to do, oopsies here. Okay, so we're going to put, oops, mine aren't staying up very well, but what you're going to do is you're going to strip them here, is you're going to keep playing with your triangles and make each of these shapes, okay? Oops. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to keep using the triangles there. I made the first one. You're going to have to play around with them, okay? And fill them in over top and get them to make the shapes. You're going to keep using the 4 triangles to make those shapes, okay? So press pause until you can keep playing with the triangles to get them to make those shapes. You can flip them around and you can play with them, okay? Then, once you've done that, so press pause until you've done that. The next one is I want you to get this page and I want you to cut out, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to cut out this circle and then cut it in half, so we have 2 half circles. Then cut out this circle and cut it in half twice so that we have quarters, right? Okay? So that's the next one that I would like you to do. So press pause until you're able to cut those circles out. Okay, so my circles are going to be blue. Okay, and then what you're going to do with the circles is you're going to put them together to make our shape down here. Okay, so you're going to see how you can play around with them to get them to fit in to our shape. Okay, and in the end, you will find that they will make this shape. Okay, so cut them out, play around to get them to make that shape for you. Okay, and then, so you can keep doing that because you need probably a little bit more time than I have. So make sure you press pause and keep doing that. So on each of the pages, you've made the shapes down below. Now, for your work in your workbook today, you're going to do exercise 60, which the first part is match together the 2 pieces that go together to make a full circle. So what does this need to make a full circle? You're going to match the top ones with the bottom ones. The same with here. You're going to match the 2 that make a square, okay? Then for exercise 61, it says cut this shape out. And if you remember back to the first page with the squares, you have these 4 shapes. So you already have these on this page. You're going to cut them out. And what I want you to use is the dotted lines to make these shapes, okay? So you draw the dotted lines to show, okay? So then put them together in here and show the dotted lines so that you can show how it is formed using these 4 pieces. So put them on top, make them fit, and then trace them to show how they went in, just like this one. The same with you're going to do the same 4 shapes you're going to use over here. Put them together to make this shape, and then remove one at a time and trace it to show how you used 4 of these to make that shape so that you can see, just like this first one here. Okay, so that's what I want you to do in your workbook and the worksheet. Now tomorrow you're not going to have any schoolwork, but I hope you'll join me for our fun Friday, and have a great weekend.